Welcome to the short Vort on two parshios, Mattos and Masei. In Mattos, in perek lamed aleph, pesukim memtes and nun, says that they did battle with Midian, and they took a census, and they found that no one was missing from our side. Nefkad ממנו ish. Then it says vanakriv korban Hashem, that they brought an offering to Hashem, לכפר nafshtינו לפני Hashem, to get atonement for ourselves before Hashem. Today's different Torah are adapted from Tiferes Shmuel Torah, the Torah of Rosh Shmuel Berenbaum zt'l, the Mir Rosh Yeshiva in Brooklyn, who lived from 1920 to 2008. Rashi explains on the pasuk here, לכפר al hirhur halev al benos Midian. They got atonement for having improper thoughts regarding the daughters of Midian during their battle with Midian. During the war of Midian, there was divine intervention, and no one died. The question then becomes, says Berenbaum, is Hashem was taking such good care of the soldiers that no one died in battle, no one was even missing. How could it be that they had to bring a korban l'chaper al nafshosechem? What sin did they do that they need to bring a korban chatas? Also, furthermore, the Torah discusses in parshios Kitzetse, there's a law called the Torah, where a female captive taken in battle is permitted keneged hayetza hara, so that just being allowed to take this female prisoner and through a process be able to marry her, that alone would mitigate the desire for that relationship. So if you're allowed to have Torah in general, why would they need a kapara, according to Rashi, for what they did against Midian, that they had improper thoughts about the women? The answer, says Berenbaum, is that when someone merits a nace, a public miracle like they had here, that no one was killed, and they saw that Hashem was with them, that they had siyata d'shmaya, heavenly assistance, then automatically, even though a general rule in war there was permission to take female captives, as Yefas Torah scenarios, where the Torah only spoke in neged hayetzer hara, but now when they had such a dramatic expense, they must respond by elevating themselves to even higher level and not rely on the heter of Yefas Torah. And that's why after such a dramatic win, they felt they needed to request atonement for the sin of Yefas Torah regarding having improper thoughts towards the Midianite women when they should have been on that higher than normal level of battle. And that is why they felt that they needed to bring a korban for that hirhur. So we see that great success requires us to improve ourselves. When Hashem does something so dramatically, thank you is not enough. You have to take it to the next level. And the greatest gift to Hashem is something that you do with your das, with your mentality. Therefore, intellectually, you must put in more efforts towards Torah study, the proper thoughts with other mitzvos, and staying away from improper thoughts. Moving on to Mattos-Massei, perek lamed hey pasuk yud gimel. So we're talking here about cities of refuge for unintentional killers, the Ori Miklat. The Gemara in Makos Daf Tes Abed Beis says there that one of the cities of the Ori Miklat, says Abaya, is Gilad, and there it was Shchichi Rotzchem. It was common that they had murderers. So Berenbaum asks, if this is a Ori Miklat, which is for unintentional sinners, why are there so many? Why are there shchichi rotzchem? It's not, that doesn't, the cities don't serve protection for those who actually kill intentionally. So he answers that because there happened to be so many rotzchem, so many killers, that desensitized the people around there, and they weren't as careful to avoid things that could lead to accidental sins. And if we go into Parshas Nasa, when we talk about the Nazir, the Nazir is chayav to bring a korban if he becomes tamei, impure, even unintentionally. But if it's unintentionally, it's not his fault. We add that Berenbaum answered there that the Nazir is supposed to take extra steps to put extra straight guards on keeping away from Tumah. Just like you don't just not drink wine, but you have to stay away from wine byproducts. And when someone makes the effort to go beyond the requirements, Hashem will potentially give siyata d'shmaya extra assistance so that they won't even sin unintentionally, b'shogeg or ba'ones. In the Gemara Mattos-Massei, the next page, Daf Yud Amud Beis, says, "B'derech Adam rotza leilech molichin oso." The direction a person wants to go, they take them, because if the person makes extra safeguards on themselves, they won't end up stumbling even accidentally. Of course, if someone's not careful, then they don't have that protection. And they say about the Chavetz Chaim, there's a story that when he would go in a wagon to another town or another place, and people would start talking improper words, Dvar Masurim, immediately he fell asleep so that he wouldn't hear this. This was siyata d'shmaya because he was so careful in Shmiras Halashon. Finally, we say in the Yamin Noraim and in Avinu Malkinu, Achet shechatanu lefanecha ba'ones v'ratzon, for sins that we did unintentionally and intentionally. Now we understand why you would be having to have vidui, confession, and one kapara, forgiveness for something you did intentionally, but what do you need for an unintentional sin? So with what we explained above, now we can understand why we say chetanu ba'ones, because if someone really wants to avoid sin, they will take the extra safeguards, and if they do the extra safeguards, they're likely to have siyata d'shmaya and not even accidentally sin. So if they ended up sinning accidentally, it's a sign that they weren't taking the necessary safeguards. And that's what we're asking for kapara, and we are saying vidur. Putting the two together, the two lessons of when Hashem helps you, especially b'derech nes, with a big miracle, you must be machazik in how you can keep the mitzvos. And when you do the mitzvos better, then Hashem will Hashem will help you avoid sinning even accidentally. So thank you for listening. Like, share, and subscribe. Have a wonderful week and a wonderful Shabbat.